I think the bear market rally is over. Mom and dad that bought over the last few weeks are going to get their faces ripped off. I entered a new short position today. I also bought my favorite bond fund position today. I think we chop down lower from here, and I'll explain everything. Gold up again on the day. My clients and my wife love that. I like it too. Confirming the breakout, at least as of 2:23 this afternoon, above $3,320 an ounce in my opinion. Gold now can go to brand new all-time highs. I realize this snippet of a chart here only shows you about the last 2 weeks on gold, but gold has chopped higher all year long. Gold is a trade on two things. Number one, uncertainty and possibly lower stock prices. And number two, it is a hedge against inflation. I think at this point, the market is less worried about increases in inflation and more worried about stock market uncertainty and possibly the stock market pulling back. So gold continuing to march higher is one signal to me that we can see lower stock prices. Interest rates, the US 10-year yield hasn't been this high on a closing basis since February, making an unconfirmed breakout as of about 2:30 Eastern above 4.54%. If it can close above that level today and even somehow close meaningfully higher tomorrow, wow, the 10-year yield could go to 4.66%. Here's why I think this could be incredibly bearish. When people believe that we are in a bull market, lower interest rates are great. Why would companies not want to borrow money at lower prices when things are great? That money that's not going towards borrowing costs goes towards the bottom line, makes their stock price go up, things are great. In a bear market, those lower interest rates, in my opinion, are at first bearish because it's kind of the trade where people are going to quality. They're buying up some bonds like, oh, I don't really like the rest of the market. They buy up bonds. What does that do? That lowers yields. But what if we have transitioned now, not necessarily today, but in the last several days, what if we have transitioned from the period where we want a flight to quality? What if we are now in the oh shit portion of this bear market where people start to sell everything? They throw the baby out with the bathwater. If that's true, and maybe it's not, and maybe I'm wrong, but if I am right and people are selling bonds in addition to everything because they are afraid of everything, that is oh shit bearish. Be careful. Like I led off with, yes, I did buy some of my favorite bond fund this morning when I saw it come in and open up real low. Because the yields were higher, but throughout the day, the yields have come even higher. That makes my bond fund go down. Let's see, if I really think we are in oh shit mode here with bonds, I could absolutely start to get out of my bond fund. That's fine. Let's see how we end the day. Anything can happen, but as of 2:42 in this afternoon here, look at the one-sided down day on companies, issues, and volume that we have here on the New York Stock Exchange. When we get a big one-sided down day at what might be the top of a rally, that can absolutely be a sign that the rally is over. I think it's over. And here are the numbers on the S&P 500 that I've shared with you for quite a while. I think we have absolutely made point number one, the bear market rally high of 6,000. We came within 2 or 3 tenths of hitting that number. That's a really good nail. I think now we are absolutely down on the way to point number two, my first target low of 57.75. I then say we can have a little dead cat bounce up to point three, up to about 58.10, and then continue the fall downwards to point number four here, my second target low of about 56.15. That is not my bear market low. My bear market low is, I think, the S&P 500 can fall at least 30% from the all-time highs. Again, I started a brand new short position late this morning when mom and pop bought into that little spat. Again, they came back in and I said, yeah, I think they're going to be wrong. And they are. Bitcoin is interesting. I've shared with you for a couple days now that I thought if we could not truly break through and really sustain all-time highs, that I could short Bitcoin. Maybe I missed that opportunity. Time will tell. But yeah, Bitcoin made brand new all-time highs earlier today, came back down, still can absolutely chop in that previously confirmed breakout above $99,800 a coin and $108.5 a coin. Let's see what happens. Maybe I missed a shorting opportunity here. Maybe I didn't. Let's see what happens at these levels. The trade war may be somewhat back on with China. This could be huge news. I will wait to see more news come out of Washington and the Trump administration. But I saw something today where Trump might go back on what he said maybe just 2 weeks ago and not rescind the Biden era laws that were restricting the amount of artificial intelligence chips, these GPUs, that we allow to be bought by the rest of the world. If we don't rescind that Biden era rule and we still are keeping most of those chips for ourselves, that can really hurt NVIDIA, the entire semiconductor industry, the stock market in general. Watch a possible escalation of the trade war with China. This is not investment advice, and if you don't know me, I'm John Crocker, professional investor, proud American, cigar lover, and owner of Crocker Capital, LLC.